Well, listen, if you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should see.
When someone runs out of real arguments, what's the go-to move? You guessed it, rambling. Not just any rambling, but the long-winded, never-ending kind that loops back on itself, going nowhere. It's just noise filling space until people tune out. But let's shift focus to Asterisk, the View Asterisk hosts, who often seem completely out of touch with everyday Americans. They sit in their studio, nodding along to carefully curated perspectives, reinforcing their own views without real debate. It's like they exist in an elite bubble, detached from the struggles and realities of most people. Rather than engaging with different viewpoints, they push a narrative that feels disconnected from the broader public. The result? A conversation that feels staged, predictable, and frustratingly out of sync with reality.
Put in there because according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous one.
To expand their news sources beyond their personal echo chamber, because at this point, it's just embarrassing. For years, Whoopi Goldberg has been the undisputed queen of Asterisk, the View Asterisk, running the show like an empress. She decides who gets to speak, shuts down guests mid-sentence, and delivers her takes as if they were absolute truth. It's her court, and everyone else is just there to play along, or else. But here's the kicker. There was one moment that shattered the illusion of her untouchable reign, and it was downright humiliating. It started like any other day on Asterisk, the View Asterisk. Smug laughter, dramatic eye rolls, and a panel of synchronized head nods, all perfectly in tune with their left-leaning script. Same routine, same self-congratulatory chatter. Then, out of nowhere, Karoline Leavitt walked onto that stage, and suddenly, everything flipped on its head. The usual script fell apart, and for once, the panel was forced to confront a perspective they weren't prepared for.
I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
And for the first time in a long time, Whoopi wasn't in control. Sitting high on her throne as always, she thought she had the upper hand. She locked eyes on Karoline Leavitt and delivered what she thought was a knockout punch. Asterisk without wokeness. You wouldn't even have this job. Asterisk boom. The second those words left her mouth, the entire room went dead silent. You could feel the air shift, thick with tension. Even Joy Behar, who has practically made a career out of roasting conservatives, suddenly looked uneasy, shifting in her chair like she knew something was about to go down. And Whoopi? Oh, she was smug as ever. She really thought she had just delivered the ultimate mic drop moment. Spoiler alert, she hadn't. What came next was as predictable as ever. Tired, frustrating, and patronizing. You've heard it before. The same holier-than-thou tone. Dripping with asterisk I'm right. You're wrong asterisk arrogance. She was setting herself up for yet another long-winded rant, fully expecting Karoline to fold under pressure. But here's where things took a turn. Karoline didn't flinch. She didn't rush to defend herself. She didn't scramble for a quick-witted comeback. No, she did something far more powerful. She smiled. And not just any smile. A slow, knowing smirk that said loud and clear, asterisk, you just messed up asterisk. That was the moment the entire power dynamic flipped. Suddenly, Whoopi wasn't the one in control anymore.
Afterwards, this young lady claimed her, quote, on-air snub proves that you-know-who will not be treated fairly in the upcoming debate. Now, do you think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective, or is this more the same of, everybody's against me, it's all rigged, I tell you. Is everything rigged?
No, it's their MO. That's what they do. Rachel Maddow said last week, she's like, if the election is lost, it was rigged. If there's a debate, then the moderators are probably biased.
Then Karoline delivered the real knockout punch. She didn't rely on emotion or weak arguments. She brought hard, cold facts. Government spending reports, economic data, the kind of receipts you just can't argue with. This wasn't just a rebuttal, it was a demolition. Whoopi had walked straight into a trap, and now there was no way out. Karoline didn't just push back, she dismantled the entire narrative with laser precision. She laid out exactly how taxpayer money was being funneled into bizarre, woke-driven agendas. Sesame Street pushing American activism on a global scale. That was just the beginning. She connected the dots like a surgeon, exposing how wokeness had evolved from a social movement into a full-blown political weapon, one designed to silence, shame, and destroy anyone who dared to step out of line. And Whoopi? She wasn't laughing anymore. The smug confidence was gone, the usual condescending tone, nowhere to be found. For the first time, Whoopi Goldberg was on the defensive, backed into a corner with no scripted escape. And she did not asterisk like it.
And disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economy.
Spent decades bulldozing guests and shutting down opposing views with snark and arrogance was now the one struggling for words. Whoopi fidgeted, shifted in her chair, desperate to regain control, but the power had already slipped through her fingers. Karoline wasn't letting this moment pass. She had Whoopi cornered and there was no escape. Whoopi opened her mouth, then snapped it shut. Tried again, still nothing. The tension in the room was suffocating. The audience, usually quick to erupt in applause for Whoopi, sat frozen in awkward silence. The usual dynamic had shattered. And for the first time in a long time, the View wasn't going according to script.
In cultural Marxism trickling its way through every institution in this country. The public school system, the higher education university system, Hollywood, big tech, the corrupt mainstream media that I fought against in President Trump's White House are indoctrinating my generation of Americans into hating our country, hating one another based on race and gender and all of this other
Even Joy Behar, Whoopi's most loyal sidekick, kept her gaze locked on the table, probably praying someone would pull the plug on this disaster. Even the camera crew seemed unsure. Did they zoom in on Whoopi's stunned face, capturing this rare moment of defeat, or cut to commercial and pretend it never happened? Because let's be real, this wasn't just another debate on wokeness. This was a reckoning. Karoline had just exposed one of the biggest hypocrisies of the entire movement. If wokeness is truly about diversity and inclusion, then why are conservative women the ones constantly targeted, mocked, and silenced? Why do the loudest voices preaching tolerance and inclusivity become the most ruthless when someone dares to challenge their script? In that moment, the View's carefully controlled narrative had been shattered, and there was no easy way to spin it.
If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on. Right. That's what you hear. Yeah. When they don't have anything to hold you with, nothing to make you think about what.
The entire power dynamic flipped. Whoopi, trapped, exposed, speechless. No snarky comeback, no clever deflection, just pure, agonizing silence. The tension in the air was palpable. Desperate to save face, Joy Behar swooped in with a weak joke, trying to break the awkwardness. But it was too late. The damage was done. Whoopi had been dismantled on live television and millions had just witnessed it. But if you think that was a bad day for Whoopi, just wait, because the internet had a field day. Reaction videos flooded in, memes exploded across every platform, and commentators couldn't get enough. And here's the kicker. This wasn't Whoopi's first rodeo with controversy. She's been in the hot seat before, but this time, there was no spinning what had just happened.
At you, not to you, and that's what she was doing, and she was doing it, and it's not new.
No.
But everybody's hip to you all now.
Yeah.
And we are anticipating that you are not prepared. Because you keep saying you going and you preparing when you're on
We're talking about a woman whose past is littered with scandals, from tone-deaf comments about the Holocaust to bizarre, head-scratching defenses of problematic figures. But this time, it was different. Now, The View wasn't just facing public backlash, they were drowning in lawsuits. First Carrie Underwood, then Elon Musk, and now Karoline Leavitt. One after another, defamation cases piled up, each more devastating than the last. And let's talk about the real cost of Whoopi's unchecked commentary, because ABC was bleeding money. This wasn't just petty internet drama. This was millions in legal battles, all thanks to Whoopi's reckless mouth. The worst part? She had no one to blame but herself. Let's rewind for a second. Carrie Underwood, a country music star, made the mistake of performing at Trump's second inauguration. What happened next? The View went into full attack mode. They mocked her, ripped apart her performance, and accused her of aligning with hate. They wanted to cancel her, but instead, they set off a legal firestorm that would come back to haunt them in ways they never saw coming.
Yesterday, Joy Behar stirring the pot of controversy after saying this about Carolyn.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Do you want to take this?
No, you cannot be attractive and smart. I will try to give Joy the benefit, and oh, thank you. I try to give Joy the benefit of the doubt that she didn't see that briefing. Because if you saw that yesterday on numerous topics, no big binder, I think she might have had a different impression of this young woman.
They lit the match that would set their own house on fire. But Carrie Underwood wasn't about to roll over and take it. Instead of letting Whoopi and The View destroy her career, she fought back hard. She hit them with a billion-dollar defamation lawsuit. And when the case hit the courtroom, things got explosive. Turns out, ABC had orchestrated the entire smear campaign, not just for fun, but to boost ratings and manufacture controversy. That's right, this wasn't just reckless gossip. It was a calculated hit job. When the truth came out, ABC had no choice but to settle. But at what cost? The whispers began. Is The View even worth the trouble anymore? And just when they thought the storm had passed, boom, another lawsuit. This time, their target was Elon Musk, and if they thought Carrie's case was bad, they were about to face something much, much worse.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables.
I like this young lady who's in her first job to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. She said, there will be no wokeness here. Oh yeah? Let me explain something to you. Without that so-called wokeness you might not even have that job. Yeah, because women weren't always invited to that table. In fact, women weren't invited to many tables at all. The progress you're benefiting from, that came from the very movement you're dismissing. So before you shut it down, maybe take a moment to understand what got you here. Whoopi and The View panel pushed outrageous false claims about Twitter under Elon Musk's ownership. But Musk wasn't about to let it slide. He hit them with yet another defamation lawsuit, and just like that, The View was in full-blown crisis mode. Advertisers started pulling out. Ratings plummeted. The cracks in The View's carefully controlled empire were widening fast. Fast forward to today. Whoopi's reign is over. After that humiliating showdown with Karoline Leavitt, she was done. And let's be real, it wasn't some graceful farewell. ABC tried to spin it as a break, but everyone knew the truth. She was fired, the damage was too deep, and the network was scrambling to do damage control. With Whoopi gone, fans started asking the big question, can The View even survive? Do they double down, bringing in another polarizing figure to keep up the drama? Or is this finally the moment where they change course? Could this be the beginning of the end for The View Let us know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because this is just the beginning.